You're going to do an introduction?
Yeah.
No, okay.
Okay.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, hey!
Hi, for those of you who don't know me, you're lucky. Those that you do, I'm sorry. Anyway, my name
And we're off.
we're off. Okay, so it all started.
Hang on a second. Let me interject here. Hi, I'm Jeannie Baker, and welcome to Live at 12:05. And if you hadn't already figured out, our special guest is Jim McLaughlin. Let me get this accurate for a change. He is not a two-time world champion. He is a world champion of a 2-year time frame.
Title.
Right. Title.
Right.
It's a 2-year title.
Right.
So I have cleared the air on that. I stand corrected after all these years. There we go.
That's all right. I hear it all the time. I used to
know.
correct people all the time, and I just gave up. Yeah, it's a 2-year thing. When I won it, and then they move it around. When I won it was in 91, 92, and 91 I won it. And it was in Michigan. And then the next one was in Germany in 93, and I judged that. And the next one was in 95 in Japan, and I judged that. And then I judged the Australian Nationals twice. And then numerous other things. Taught at the experimental college at UW for a year and a half, I can't remember.
Right on.
And then I've, given private lessons and done lots of workshops and wrote a book and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, it all started, let's see, June 28th. It all started 9 months and 24 days after my brother was born. That's when I was born.
Okay, and your brother?
Bob.
Is Bob, okay.
And then anyway, so like I'm 9 months and 24 days behind my brother. So my mom, they were quick. Let's see.
What do you think attributed to such a
Quickness?
Was it
my
blackout?
dad told me that my mom had never been so horny in her life. So he knew when I was conceived.
Now, I have heard that's possible. It's like the hormones are still kicking in after the one baby's born, and it's like the husband, sometimes it's all taken out of his hands.
Well, when you stand up and take notice, a stiff dick has no conscience. Can I say that on the air? I guess I can. Anyway.
Yeah, well.
That's what my dad told me.
Yes.
Anyway, I was born in Everett, raised in Everett.
You are a native Washingtonian.
Yes, I am. Raised in Everett, lived for a little bit when I was really young in Ketchikan, and a little bit in Mount Vernon, and some in Snohomish. Went to Washington Elementary, North Junior, Everett High, Everett Community College, and Edmonds Community College. I was a photo major in college, and one of my friends stole all my camera gear. Oh. So I became a music major, which was really, he was an asshole, but I have to thank him in a way. So
yes, I understand.
So I took classical training and all that stuff, and I tried to apply it to the harmonica. And I went to jazz improvisation at Edmonds Community College, and the teacher would not let me play the diatonic. You have to play the chromatic. I said, well, I can do it on the diatonic. You have to play the chromatic. Oh, whatever. So I played the chromatic and couldn't stand it for like a year. And then I brought Howard Levy in to the class, and he played, and then afterwards I said, see? The teacher,
aren't those fun moments when you get to say,
well,
see?
yeah, but he should have just let me do what I wanted to do, but he was an arrogant prick. I mean, he was a really nice guy, but
okay.
He had his versions of what the harmonica should be, and I had a different version, and he didn't like my version, and I didn't like his, and I still do my version and don't do his. So
when you think outside the box, it's like, well, whose box are you talking about?
Right.
Mine or yours?
Yeah, well, it was his that I was outside of. So I applied it all to music theory and my theory to the harmonica and did all that. I'm not a blues player. I mean,
you saved me that question.
Yeah, I'm
Good
not.
job.
I mean, because a blues player does all that, you know, that Little Walter, Mark Hummel.
Yes, I have a
all
Mark
those people,
Hummel
you know,
story.
That kind of stuff, you know. And I mean, I can still do those techniques, but they're based on the blues scale. No, sir. See, I'm already off. Not warmed up. You know, that scale. So, you know, except I hit one note wrong. But I play more of the major pentatonic scale, which is the, you know, so that's basically what I base my playing on. So if you listen to me play, I'm giving away all my bad habits here. I mean, I play a lot more than the major diatonic. But if you hear me play, you'll always hear this. I'll only play major diatonic. See, that's all major diatonic. And it has that sweet country sound, but it fits real well in all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
But if you listen to a lot of blues players, they don't, like Jonathan Pittman, he's going to be doing the Madison here coming up this month, 19th, I think. They're open their Wednesday night thing. He's a great player, a really good blues player, really great tone. And anyway, but you listen to him and he's a real strongly blues oriented in his playing. And whereas you listen to Joel, and Joel Astley, it's kind of a crossover between
who I enjoy listening to.
He's kind of a crossover between me and blues. You know, so he plays, you know, but I'm not a blues player. I mean, I can play the blues and I play the blues, but when I go,
and you can make a harmonica par.
Yeah.
that is.
I can't do it right now because I would transfer my head, so I'm having a hard time rolling my. I can't. I'm having a hard time doing that.
All right. We attribute that to a mermaid.
Yeah, but it's in my sinuses and mouth and tongue and shit. So.
Well, this visit.
See, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, this visit came about from a lovely accidental run-in at the Madison, and you were sharing your story and your perspective and your outlook on life. And I'm like, well, let's go talk about that.
Okay.
Call it Musical Notes of Life from Jim McLaughlin.
Okay. So
you have a perspective.
I do, but you know, like if you listen to my playing, I mean, I'm very major diatonic, major pentatonic, and the pentatonic means the 5-note scale, which is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, or say do, re, mi, la, do, re, mi, la, ti. No, that's right. Do, re, mi, so la, do, re, mi, fa. Oh, I'm missing that. That's right.
The fa.
Do, re, mi, so, la. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. That's the major pentatonic scale.
So the fa's off, huh?
Yeah. And so anyway, So anyway, I learned to play the harmonica, and this is a major diatonic instrument, which means basically the white keys on the piano, but they're different keys. So basically, you're taking the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and just starting on a different place, and you're putting in the sharps or flats or whatever. But if you learn to play one thing on one harmonica, all you have to do is change harmonicas to change keys and play the same way. So they're kind of like a capo on a guitar. So you watch a guitar player and he's playing something in G, but he wants to play it in A, so he puts a capo up 2 frets. So basically these are like capos. So if you learn to play one thing in one key, all you have to do is change harmonicas and you can play the same thing in another key without having different things. Although you can play the same song in different keys on the same harmonica, like, okay, this is a major scale. So, but you can play minor stuff too. So, like I'll do Summertime in 3 keys. Like, so you have to bend or 3 down a whole step or a half step. So that's in this is the D's. So that's in, I think in the C, so I'm going to say it's the C. So that's in G minor, but you can also play it in D minor.
No.
and then you can play it in A minor. So, and Lee would bitch at me for not playing with soul and feeling right now, but I'm just playing this out. You know, rather than playing it like... Instead of playing it like that, but I'm trying to just get through the song.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I learned to play in same song in different keys, and then I also learned how to, where the same note is on different places. So if I wanted to play like... So I can play the same lick in different places. So I can, you know, so it sounds like I'm doing more than I am, but I'm actually playing the same notes just in different places. And so I can, you know, so I can go like sorry, or so I can go, and those are all D's. Missed that one. There. So I can play the C in different. So I can play the same note in different places. So if I want to go. You know, if I'm soloing or doing whatever, you know, I can play the same thing in different places. The same thing with like Summertime when I played it up here. I can also go, you know, so I can play it, do the same thing and just bounce around on a harmonica. So sounds like I'm doing more than I'm doing.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm giving a master class. Y'all stay tuned in.
So I'm just, you know, explaining how I do things. So, and then there's only like 19 notes on this harmonica because draw 2 and blow 3 is the same note, so you can get a chord. See, this is a D harmonica, but I'm talking on the C, okay? So this is a C chord, and this is a G chord. Really, it's a D and an A, but okay. I should actually switch. I'll go back to C in a second. But anyway, but by controlling your breath and the way you breathe and the way you draw across the notes, so from blow 1 to draw 4, there's C, D, E, G, B, C, D. So there's 7 notes. Okay, but by controlling your breath, you can get, I don't know. I can't get it off. There it is.
Don't strain anything,
I'm
please.
not. I'm just my mouth.
I have faith in your abilities.
My mouth is a little messed up, so it's a little harder to do certain techniques. So I can play totally chromatic from blow 1 to blow 4, to draw 4. You know, so there's C, D, E, C, D, C, D flat, D, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G, A flat, A, B flat, B, C. So there's 13 notes instead of 7.
I still can't remember how to make the train sound in the one that yeah.
So that's just took in,
my Jim McLaughlin
exhale, blow. Took
special.
in, exhale, hoodoo.
Yeah.
And then draw 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Go wow wow. There's the train.
Yes, I think it was the wow wow you and Sri were trying to shoot.
Anyway, so I learned how to bend notes, you know, and then I learned how to overblow, which is where you blow and raise the pitch. So I can get chromatic from blow 4 to blow 7, blow 8. So I can be totally chromatic. This is like with a button on the chromatic, and this is what that teacher wanted me to do. But I told him I could do it on this, but he wouldn't listen to me. So anyway,
and you showed him.
Well, I brought in Howard.
Didn't completely know.
I showed him, but he totally ignored me. So I brought in Howard, and I said, and then after that, and also it was really funny too because I videoed the thing that Howard came into the class, and I told the teacher he was coming, and he did a performance, and I set up a camera, and people made ball joints at me for years, and I never thought much about it. I knew I had a receding hairline, but I'm not vain enough to look or care. And I saw a picture of me behind in the camera and went, holy shit, I'm bald. I never knew. I'd been bald for years. I mean, I just was never vain enough to care.
Well, my favorite Jimism is, I always tell the truth. That way I never have to remember what I said.
That's right. If I don't lie, I don't have to remember.
Anybody knows you they know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I just try to tell the truth, and I mean, I have lied some, we all have, but I try not to say things that'll hurt people's feelings, so I try to sometimes soften the blow, but so anyway, so then I learned how to play, chromatic from the bottom from blow 1 to blow 8. No, sorry. I forgot where I was. So there's the chromatic scale. So that by
I couldn't reel you back in because I didn't know where you were going.
I was playing the chromatic scale, and this is a diatonic. This is a white key instrument. That was all the white and black keys. So then, when I'm improvising or when I'm playing something like I can bend for the notes that I want, like "Ain't Misbehaving." The second note is draw 3 but it's a whole step below, or two white key, black key below the normal note. So you have to bend the second note, and you have to bend it in tune. So that note there. Two. So I learned to play different melodies, a lot of old jazz standards and stuff, so I really like them swing. And I'm more of a swing player, light jazz, not smooth jazz.
Billie Holiday.
That's what I.
Jazzy blues.
Yeah. Ain't Misbehaving. Don't get around with you more. That's Shine by what's his name? The Django Reinhardt. And then, Lady Be Good. That's an old jazz standard. Those.
Maybe Billie Holiday?
No, that was Gershwin, George and Ira. And so anyway, so that's kind of the way my playing lends itself to. I'm not a blues player, and I'm really notey. Although I've slowed down a lot. I used to be like a machine gun. I was fast. I mean, I was really fast. I used to do Arkansas Traveler. Let me get a lower key. This is a little high for that. But I've been so long since I played, I don't remember how it went. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I used to do a lot of fiddle tunes and. Irish washerwoman and stuff like that, And
so the harmonica can be a replacement for another instrument named the fiddle.
Yeah, actually, when I play the harmonica, I think violin. I don't think of the harmonica. I play harmonica licks, and I study the harmonica and listen to a lot of players and put a lot of, learn to do different things by listening to people and asking questions. But when I play, I try to play like a violinist, not a fiddle player. I play fiddle tunes too, but I try to. I just made that up, but that kind of stuff.
Well, that's the sweet stuff.
Rather than that, I do that stuff too, but it's not.
I like your Orange Blossom Special.
I'm gonna probably do that on the 29th.
But the Harpageddon.
Yeah.
At the Madison.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that.
29th, starting at 7.
Yeah, that's what I'm planning.
You and Joel and
Neil Fallon.
And Terry. Something.
I don't know the other guy.
I think it's Terry Hartness. I think so.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if I see him, I'll know him. But But
well, I know
I was told
3 out of 4 of those exceptional gentlemen.
Yeah. I was told he knows me, but that's not unusual. I'm pretty obnoxious. Plus Freedom Fest and all that crap.
Yes, yes. And to which that started when?
13 years ago. I got divorced, and that's why I call it Freedom Fest. I got rid of a really not nice person.
It grew out of the sense of
It was a divorce party.
peace. It was a divorce party, but its legacy now is a gathering of peace and friendship and familyship and feeding each other wonderful food out of the kitchen of a cadre, an army of people that come back every year.
Yes.
Dana McMillan, your brother Gordy, Chef Carl, all of them, the Jenningses, Mary Lou, Joy, Ray, everybody, the sound people that come back, Griff, Kevin, Pete,
Jason,
and it's
it's and then all the volunteers. I wouldn't be able to do it without the volunteers, and I don't, everybody plays for free. I paid certain people. I mean, I always have to pay the sound guy. I mean, the PA system.
Please do.
PA system's over $100,000 PA, and so I pay him, and I pay Griff because he comes up from Oregon and brings his board, and I pay a few other people, and security and some other people. That,
that you do that for the welfare and well-being and care of the people that you open your door to, that essentially amounts to a month leading up to it, and then 2 to 3 weeks afterwards for cleanup, haul away, and taking down stuff, and we know. There are folks that continually come back.
But there's people that volunteer, and it really helps. I mean, the people the ladies that do the T-shirt booths. I mean, I don't allow people to sell things there. Because it's all free. The only thing I sell is my T-shirts and my hats, and I threw her my hat. Anyway, the T-shirt and hats, and there's a lady.
The hoodies.
T-shirt, hats, shirts.
Angel knew.
Yeah, I let Angel
Walter's
sell
wife.
because Walter's the security guy, and she's got ALS, and so I let her sell her beaded work. But I don't let people sell stuff. And people have called, "Oh, I want to bring my food truck." I said, "Well, you can bring it, but you can't sell anything out of it." Whoa! I said, "Well, everything's free." Whoa. And then and then I get people telling me, "Oh God, you need to charge for parking. You need to do this. You need to do that." And I say, "No, because it's free." And I've done it 13 years, and it's only cost me out of my pocket 4 of those 13 years. So that's pretty good. The most it's ever cost me is $2,000. So that's not bad for a weekend party.
I'm grateful. There's a lot of
festival
owners and promoters that wish that would be only out of their pocket, I'm sure. And nobody ever minds if you happen to get into the black. Oh my goodness.
Well, 2 years, last year, not this year, but I didn't keep track this year. But I mean, I didn't pay everybody as much as I wanted to, but I paid everybody. And last year, I set an amount, and I paid everybody that amount. And at the end, I was $7 ahead. And I went, yes. And then somebody said, "Well, here's $40. I said, no, I'm $7 ahead. I'm good. And somebody gave me $40. I said, okay. So I took it. And then a little bit later, somebody else came up to me.
Thank you.
I said thank you. And a little bit later, somebody came up with another $40. I said, no, I made $7. Somebody gave me another $40. I'm 47 ahead. I'm good. No, take this. So I made $87. But I remember the first year I made money, I made $60, and I felt so bad. I felt like I ripped a whole bunch of people off. I mean, I just was like, oh my God, I stole money from these people. I made $60.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah. But it ended up losing money that year anyway, so it's okay because Marilyn Beebe parked her car where I kept announcing, "You gotta move this car, you gotta move this car, you gotta move this car." And she was sitting with Richard, and they were talking. She goes, "Oh, that poor person, they gotta move my car." And it's her freaking car. So anyway, we finally had to hook it up with a chain and drag it out. So she's sitting over by the food tent with Richard facing the stage, and her car is getting dragged down the road, down the road because it's in park. We got a chain to it. Just talking to Richard, totally ignoring it, and then because of the steering, it went off and got a little bit of blackberry, so it scratched it some. And but hey, man, I'm sorry. How many times for hours we announced this, and the people and the neighbors were getting really pissed at me.
Oh no.
And so later she just, "Well, then it's my car," and I'm going, "Shit, Marilyn, there's 500 cars if there's one here. How am I going to know which?" "Well, you know what? No, I don't know your car." So anyway, it cost her some money, whatever. So I paid half of what it cost to fix it, and so I came out like 175 in the hole or something. So I felt much better.
Yeah. Well,
But it, you know, it's like, and it's going down the road right behind her. She doesn't even turn around and look. It's like, and it's all my fault.
It's those nuggets like there, Jimmy. That is like, oh my gosh, my face hurts. It hurts.
It's just like, well, anyway. So, and this year was really weird. This is my 13th year. A lady was really sick and she wanted to go to Freedom Fish and she died.
Yes. But you know.
So they picked her up because she was in the breakfast table. She was in one of those plastic chairs. So two people picked her up and walked her over to the road and set her down beside the road and put a blanket over her and flowers in her lap. And then we called 911. Luckily, there was a hospice nurse there and she knew about doing all this stuff. And so,
you know, every year something unusual has happened
No,
that
not like
has
this.
been a in the course of the events, luckily enough so and so was here, or luckily enough this was here. So,
but last year we had a bunch of fucking assholes showed up. You know, I mean, they were punks. You know, getting drunk and trying to start fights and just.
Well,
Jesus.
there was 1 year that it was really scarily.
Yeah, we had that guy hauled
packed.
off in handcuffs.
No, this was like super crowded, packed.
Oh yeah, that was the year we had like 7,000 people.
It was a whole lot of faces, unfamiliar.
That was because Channel 16 put it on the news the night before and advertised it.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Well, it was a well-meaning intention. As
No.
folks sometimes
We had over
mean
7,000
to have.
people that year.
Huh?
We had over 7,000 people that year.
It was bizarrely packed and
Not good.
a little scarily packed with a lot of unknown faces. That's like,
Yeah.
okay, we're an inclusive tribe, but who are you?
Yeah. Well, I don't care, you know.
This year
as long as they
was-
behave, I don't give a shit who they are.
Right. Well, this
I try
year,
to get homeless people to come so we can feed them and they can have a place to camp and an outhouse to use. You know, I really encourage that.
inclusion,
Mm-hmm.
inclusion, welcoming. This is a safe place.
Yeah,
as long
eat,
as
eat,
yeah.
drink, be
And
merry.
this year felt familiar because I made the second year, which was what, about 2009?
Second year was it was 13 when we were in 2009.
Right. That was my first year.
That was the first
And
year.
this year felt familiar. It was a lot of familiar faces, and
Last year was
it
really.
didn't feel overcrowded.
Yeah.
And it
Last year was even less people, and we didn't.
this felt like
Yeah, but it's
big family backyard barbecue in your house.
Yeah, but you know, another thing, a lot of people think, you know, really like it too, because it's kind of like the end of the summer and to cap the summer off. And,
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I started it as a festival in 2009, I had 10 bands, and I wanted to do something, so I had laminates made, and I had posters and all this stuff. But I wanted to give bands that didn't get a chance to play festivals to get a festival situation and play in a festival.
Yes.
That was one of my things. And I've had people fly in, Radio Blues is flying in twice at their own expense from Mexico. Another guy flew in from Florida to play, Chicago, St. Louis, Ohio.
Oh, your harmonica buddies that have come from across the country.
Yeah. And they come at their own expense.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, it's been, you know, it's pretty
A little
amazing.
show put on called For the Love of Jim.
Oh, yeah, that was my cancer benefit for my
Yeah.
liver transplant.
As a result of that, there are people in my life that I'm very fond of.
I'm not fond of anybody. Fuck them.
I know
You heard me.
We know better, don't we? We know better.
Yeah, I figure if you can't smile and laugh, you can't do much. Yeah, I know.
Oh, and
I'm blessed. I'm really blessed.
I have the absolute. Honey, is my hand out of TV range?
Yes.
With all the shit I say, I mean, it's too late. Sorry, Rob. I've been trying to keep it down, but something's just come out.
Well, like I said, this is unscripted.